I like understanding stuff. And even when I don't understand everything, I always make a big effort to understand as much as possible. And even when I'm wrong, I want to understand why I was wrong. Now on this channel, I have said several times, the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto has the numbers in Parliament and has the numbers in the Senate. And regulars on this channel will remember that I've often backed up that statement, with certain unfolding events in Kenyan politics and with evidence sometimes. So, what happened in the Senate with this Kithure issue? Because as I speak, this man is no longer the Deputy Speaker in the Senate. And that is conclusive evidence that I was wrong. Or was I? On our show today, we shall thoroughly analyze how and why I was wrong. Or for the sake of my dear friends, brothers and sisters, who are supporters of the Deputy President, what went wrong? What went wrong in the Senate so that, pop, a man was gone. You are no longer Deputy Speaker of the Senate. Hii siasa ya Kenya. Very fascinating. Now I can hear somebody asking, Chris, why are you laughing? This is serious. You are wrong. You misled us. And you're laughing? Are you really being serious? Actually, I'm very serious. And I don't expect everybody to understand why I'm laughing. But those people who understand Kenyan politics deeply will be laughing with me. Not because we are laughing at somebody, but because of the drama and the twists and the turns and how politics can change in seconds. Towards the end of our show today, I will also touch very briefly on the global crisis. And my analysis will be based on what the United States of America President Donald Trump said recently. And I have a soundbite. Listen to this.
It could be the testing's frankly overrated. Maybe it is overrated. When you test, you have a case. When you test, you find something is wrong with people. If we didn't do any testing, we would have very few cases. They don't want to write that. It's common sense.
Now, there are many of us on this channel who don't take President Donald Trump seriously. You know, in Africa, we have a wild animal called a hyena. The hyena laughs. Oh yes, it does. It is not fast like the lion. Neither is it majestic like the leopard or the cheetah. Many people say it is ugly. And so, if a hyena charges at you somewhere, will you fail to take it seriously? Will you say, get serious? That's only a hyena. It laughs. And it's a laughing matter. Ignore it. I put it to you that President Donald Trump of the United States has many similarities to the hyena. And so, he cannot be ignored. And in my view, he has opened a can of worms with this recent statement. Oh yes, because there's the testing mystery. And we'll take a closer look at that also in this show. But let's start with siasa. And so that we don't lose focus of what really happened in the Senate, and what it tells us about what is going to unfold in Kenyan politics shortly, we are going to quote senators, insiders. Because when insiders tell you something, you have to take it seriously. What do these insiders have to say about the Kithure Kindiki massacre, political massacre in the Senate? What do they have to say? And let's start with one of my favorite politicians, Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. Now, this is one politician who plays his politics in a very similar manner to the way his late dad played his politics. The late Senator Mutula Sr. always gravitated towards power. Towards power, the winning side. This is what Mutula Kilonzo Jr., his son, had to say. They have no numbers. He was referring to the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto camp. They have no numbers. The mantra of numbers was a red herring. The vote in the Senate was enough evidence that they will not hold Parliament hostage. Okay. Now let's hear from somebody in the Deputy President's camp, Senator Susan Kihika from Nakuru. She says they were intimidated and harassed into submission. Some of the weaponized institutions, such as EACC and DCI, went after members with threats. Okay? Senator Kihika is talking about what we always refer to on this channel as the waving of files. This is a very, very, very old tactic from the government's bag of tricks. If you don't fall into line, a file containing your sins of omission and commission is waved at you. And you're told the choice is simple. You either play ball or we will do this and that to you. We will activate the contents of this file. Without kizungu mingi, the senator is talking about blackmail. Pure and simple. Now let's also give a hearing to one of the president's staunchest supporters, Nyeri Senator Wambogo Ngunjiri. He says Ruto has ghost numbers that only appear for noise and propaganda at a fee. But when it comes to hard decisions, they disappear. You know, this is the view of the vast majority of members of this channel. But let's move on. Back to the other side, Ruto's side. Kipchumba Murkomen. This is what he says. Our friends made a tactical retreat and we allowed them. We agreed to lose the battle but win the coming war. Okay? I believe from these four insiders, we get a very clear picture of precisely what happened in the Senate a few days ago. And this is not primary school politics to elect the class prefect. So let us steer clear away from statements like it was not fair. Somebody played dirty. Any political analyst who talks like that is either a paid blogger or somebody who doesn't understand what politics is all about. In politics, there's no fair or unfair, legal or illegal. No. Indeed, Professor Makau Mutua, in his column in the Sunday Nation today, has put it very clearly. He says the latest drama in Kenyan politics confirms that the law is indeed a servant of politics, which is a kind way of saying the law is always twisted to serve politicians. And so to summarize what happened in the Senate, the government used brute force to do what they wanted to do. Even Senator Orengo confirms this when he said, and I'm paraphrasing, This is a bad thing for a good cause. What he was saying was simply, this is politics. And so in my humble view, I was not wrong. I still believe the deputy president used to have the numbers. Yeah, past tense. And there's a lot of solid evidence to support that. Yeah, because why all these acrobatics if the deputy president did not have the numbers? Why? Why remove Senator Murkomen? Why remove Susan Kihika? Why remove Kithure Kindiki? Why use brute force, brute political force? But the situation now has changed dramatically. Yeah, it is clear the deputy president no longer has the numbers. In my view, this is also sending a very clear message to the National Assembly. And you can be sure the National Assembly are paying attention. Because, for example, Aden Duale alienda wapi? I mean, the man is so quiet. He's lying low like an envelope. He's saying nothing. But you can be sure, and I mean very sure, that he's scheming. You know, recently, some ODM heavyweights, like John Bandi, came out and said Aden Duale should not be removed from his position as majority leader. They have said Aden Duale has always been loyal to the president, which we know is not true, because the truth is Aden Duale has been more loyal to the deputy president. So, what is causing these ODM people to talk like this, to start defending Duale? That harsh critic of ODM leader Raila Odinga in the past. Yep, Duale is scheming. Lakini mambo yake si mzuri. That one we know, because the way the government has behaved in the Senate, we can be sure of one thing. They are not in the mood for Duale antics. They are not. And so it is safe to say that Duale's survival hangs on a very, very thin string that can break at any time. By the way, is it a string or a thread? Nakwambia kizungu kweli likuja na meli. Anyway, I'm sure you get my point. Now, in my view, there's another much more important question we need to ask ourselves. And it is this: will the deputy president have the numbers in future? Will he ever have the numbers again? Because I'm sure I don't need to remind you the very basics of politics. There are no permanent friends and there are no permanent enemies. Things change all the time. If we are to believe Wambugu Ngujiri, the deputy president has the numbers based on a fee. And we know that his vast fortune is still intact. And so, even though Kithure Kindiki was removed as deputy speaker by a supermajority, it is safe to say that that situation can be reversed, with the right fees and a change of circumstances. If we're to believe Susan Kihika, that means the waving of files is aborted or halted briefly for whatever reason. And this is why I can also safely say that Kenyan politics has moved to a very exciting stage where anything, and I mean anything, can still happen. And as I've said in the past, Kenyan politics has also moved to its most dangerous stage, vis-a-vis this political war between the president and his deputy. You see, the most dangerous lion you can ever face is a wounded one. And I think we all agree that the deputy president is very, very badly wounded. at the moment. But there's another way of looking at everything that is unfolding in Kenya at the moment. In my view, the words of this widow way back in 2017 are the entire reason for what is going on right now. Remember Eva Msando's words as she was crying?
Look at the babies. My oldest is 10. If I include Jacob, my oldest is 17. And our youngest baby with Christopher is 2 years old. Are you happy? Because I know you're watching. May you not have peace. And vengeance is of the Lord. Na Mungu atatupigania. Wakenya tusimame imara. Chris's death will not go in vain. Tumekataa.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more. Let's just leave it at that. Now on to the global crisis. Now think about it for a minute. What is the purpose of testing? What is the purpose of mass testing? Please answer that question for yourself. And remember, Trump is talking about the United States, where people have passed on from this virus. Many people. Indeed, Americans know what it is. Yeah, most Kenyans do not know what this COVID manenos is really all about. They have not seen with their eyes the disease. But people in the United States have seen it. And yet the President of the United States is questioning, what are the tests all about? And in Kenya, we have something else strange that is happening with these tests. Now, this thing came from outside the country. The people who brought it in, flew out of the country, went to a foreign land, and then returned to Kenya. Is that correct? And so, if this is true, then mass testing needs to be done in Muthaiga, Karen, Loresho, Kileleshwa, etc., etc. However, what has been happening? We have been doing mass testing in Kaongware, and now we're in the Kibra slums. Now it seems I've missed something here. Yeah, it seems that these Kibra guys, they travel a lot to Dubai to do business. They go to China to buy goods to come and resell in Kenya. And that is why Kibra, after Kaongware, may be a hotspot for the virus. What? Make me understand. Yeah, because I'm teachable. Yeah, explain to me in simple standard 2 language so that I understand, what this testing manenos is all about. And the plot thickens. Yeah, because now we are being told the numbers are going to rise dramatically in September. What? I'm telling you, they have lost me. Maybe you're still following, but to be honest, I'm not. Somebody needs to explain to me so that I understand. I admit, maybe I'm very slow on these virus manenos. There's some things I'm not seeing. So somebody needs to make me see them. And while they're at it, somebody needs to explain to me why everybody is ignoring this cure from Madagascar. Is it because it does not come with any financial aid? Because we know there's a lot of COVID money in Africa, flooding Africa. And by the way, our petition is still there. So in case you haven't signed it yet, you can take a look at it. There's a link in the description area below this video on YouTube. I would urge you to sign the petition. It is a way out. Because in case you have not noticed, these lockdowns and partial lockdowns in Africa, it seems they're here to stay. And it would seem that the reason is that there's too much money in this COVID manenos. You know, if somebody gives you money, usually it comes with conditions. And not all the conditions are put down in writing. For example, this man comes to you to borrow money from you, and you're interested in his sister. And the man also knows you're interested in his sister. And you lend him the money. And you even tell him, you don't need to pay me back. Don't worry about it. I'm helping you out as a brother. And you don't mention his sister. And he doesn't mention his sister. But do you think the sister is part of the deal? Of course. Kunaendanga hivyo. I just wanted to remind you that there are many things which are never put into writing, but they're part of the deal. Indeed, in many instances, they may be the main part of the deal, but you'll find them nowhere on the signed contract. Nowhere. You know what is unfolding on the planet, whether you want to agree with me or not, is very strange. You want to do mass testing to put perfectly healthy people into forced quarantine. And then a vast majority of these people put into quarantine recover and leave the quarantine facilities, having paid for the cost of that quarantine. That was the situation before. Although we are told that money was given to finance that. But these people are paying. Until recently, when there were a lot of complaints on social media, and from some NGO in Mombasa. But now, the government is footing that cost. And the cost of testing as well. Now, even if that money has been donated, is this a good way to spend money for a government in Black Africa, struggling with so many other challenges? Is this really the right way to go? Testing? Just do your own thinking for yourself. But I can tell you, President Trump of the United States doesn't think so. But I guess let's just ignore Trump. He doesn't know what he's saying. And although he's the most powerful man in the world today, let's just ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.